Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to this segment of Coach Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. Our recitation for the day is Gaudi Cheti Mahalla Pehla. Kat ki Maie Bap kat Kera, kiddu thao hum aaye. Agan bimb jal pitar nipje, kahe kami upaye. Mere sahiba, कौन जाने गुण तेरे, कहे न जानी अवगुण मेरे. रहाओ केते रुख बिरख हम चीने, केते पशु उपाए, केते नाग कुली मह आए, केते पंख उड़ाए. हट पट्टन बिज मंदर भन्नै, करी चोरी कर आवे, अगों देखे पिछों देखे, तुझते कहाँ छपावे. तठ तीरथ हम नवखंड देखे, हट पट्टन बाजारा, लैके तकड़ी तोलन लागा, घट ही मैं वणजारा. जेता समुंद सागर नीर भरिया, तेते औगुण हमारे, दया करो किछ मेहर उपावो, डुबदे पत्थर तारे. जियड़ा अगन बराबर तपै, भीतर वगे काती, प्रणवत नानक हुकम पछाणे, सुख होवे दिन राती. This is a very popular shabad that is sung in gurdwaras, and we are all, I think, familiar with it. But it is also interesting in the sense that it opens itself to many layers of meaning. And we will try and establish our understanding of this passage. At the very outset, it appears as though the Guru is raising questions about the origins of human life. He seems to be asking, in a figurative sense, who the original mother and father are. Kat ki Maie Bap kat Kera, kiddu thamo hum aaye. Kat ki, who or when? Who is the father? Who is the mother? Kiddu, from whence? Thamo, place. From whence have we come? And then he proposes his insight. Agna bimb jal pitar nipjay, kahe kami upay. Now, agin bimb. Agin means fire. Bimb means reflection or a form. Jal has multiple meanings depending on the context. It can mean water. It can also stand for knowledge, or the gur, as in gur jal mil kamal vigse. So when we have a situation like this, we have to look at the larger context of the Shabad to see which would be more appropriate here. Because Mai is also referred to the intellect, and Bap again to the self. But the question remains the same, and that is the question of our origin. Where are we coming from? That is the important thing to understand, no matter how you take this, whether you take it as literally as a physical father, mother, or whether you take it figuratively as the process of creation. And the Guru responds, Agana bimb jal bhitar nipje kahe kami upay. So, in our understanding, Agan bimb is the original form. Agin means also the first, because in the Indian system of thinking of creation, fire is the first element. So here it is being used as first. Bim, form. The first form was created in water. Jal bhitar nipje. And then, kahe kame upay. For what purpose were we created? Those are the questions and the Guru's insight in the opening verse. And then the key in the Rahao is, Mere sahiba, kaun jane gun tere, kahe na jani augana mere. My master, who knows your mind? Kaun jane gun tere. Gun, properties, attributes. But I think collectively what is being said here is who can know your mind? Because remember, we are trying to answer the question of where we came from and why we came. And the Guru is saying, who can read your mind? Kahe na jani auguna mere. I say that I don't know the depth of my ignorance. In other words, we are ignorant of this knowledge, namely our origin and why, the why, because we are constantly asking that question. Why are we here? Well, the Guru says we are ignorant and perhaps we need to shed our ignorance through Guru wisdom, as we shall see. And then the passage moves for the next two verses to what appears to be a description of the evolution of life. And let's see how that plays out. Kete rukh birkh ham chine, kete pasu upaye, kete numerous, many, rukh birkh, plant life, ham chine. Chine means to know, to be aware of. So the Guru is either saying that we have evolved through and have known these life forms, or he is saying we are aware of this diversity. Either way, we have taken the thought that he is actually describing the evolution of this process of human life. So he's saying, many a plant life have we known, kete rukh birkh ham chine, and many animal forms, kete pasu upaye. Many a reptilian existence have we gone through, kete nag kuli mein aaye, and many a feathered form, kete pankh udaye. Hat pattan bij mandar panne, kari chori kare aave. And now, having described the evolution of life, he is now talking about, the Guru is talking about destruction, death. He is saying, you, having created life, also interrupt it. Hat pattan. Hat, one of the meanings of hat is to stop, to interject, to cause a pause, to break. So here, that is the meaning that has been taken. And patan comes from the word patan, to kill, to render senseless. Bij is of the elements. Mandar, a mansion. Panne, to break. So what he is saying is that having created life, having evolved life, life evolves, grows, and then you cause an interruption. In other words, you cause death. Patan, you render us senseless, and then you break the elements of the body. Bij mandar panne. And then he goes on to say, kari chori kare aave. Kari chori. Chori also stands, of course it stands for theft, thieving. Kare aave, you come into our home, meaning our body consciousness, like a thief. This is a reference to death. Kar chori kare aave. Death comes into our body home like a thief, stealthily and unannounced. Luk ke, kar chori, luk ke kare aave. Aggoh dekhe, pichhoh dekhe, tujhte kaha chhapave. Very important again. The future is seen, aggoh dekhe, pichhoh dekhe, and the past is accounted for. But tujhte kaha chhapave, what is spoken has been hidden from you. In other words, that knowledge is hidden from you. You can't see the future, and you can't seem to understand the consequences of what you have done. In either case, aggoh and pichhoh, is referring to the all-seeing and the all-perceiving Creator. It is saying that the Creator sees it all. He's seeing the emergence of life and the destruction of life. Tujte kaha chapave. So what he speaks, in other words, what he creates, his knowledge is hidden from you. It remains hidden from you. And then the Guru goes on to say, he speaks a little bit about the inner self. Tatha tirat ham navkhand dekhe hat pattan bajara. Tat. Tat comes from the word tat, which means the truth. So it is. Tirat ham navkhand dekhe hat pattan bajara. Here, hat pattan is being used to signify the township of the body, the universe within, bajara, the market, the bajara within. He says, I have seen within the universe within the body-mind, I have seen the true pilgrimage or ford, the crossing, tirath, that is what it really means, the shallow water in a river, the ford, where you can actually walk across. So the Guru is saying, within myself, I have seen that tat tirath, the true crossing, referring to the self. And I have seen it. Navakhand also refers to the body, within, Navakhand Sarir. So within, I am seeing the universe at work. And lake takdi tolan laga, kathi mai vanjara. And within this universe, I also see the trader self. Vanjara is a reference to the self within. We are like traders who have come here to exchange our ego for the truth. Lake takdi tolan laga. So we are weighing things. We are meant to weigh the truth from the untruth. And the Guru is saying, within, I have seen all this. But then he adds a reference to our condition. Jeta samund sagar neer parya, tete augan hamare. This is fairly straightforward. Like the ocean is filled with water, we are filled with flaws. Tete augan hamare. And therefore he says, this is the way of getting to know this. How do you get this knowledge? Daya karo. Beg for mercy. Ask for it. Have mercy, he says. Give us the remedy. Kich mehr upao, a remedy, a solution that will float and sail a sinking stone, because we are like sinking stones, right? Dubade patthar tare. It's one way of saying, offer us a remedy that will do the impossible. And the impossible is made possible through Guru wisdom. That's really the point. And he concludes by saying, Jiyada agan barabar tappe, pitar vagge kati. The heart and mind is inflamed, tappe, with a chronic fire. And the fire is one of ego, consciousness, and desire. And that spreads within. Vagge kati. It spreads into the entire the psyche. In conclusion, Pranvat Nanak hukam pachane sukh hove din rati. Pranvat, submit to Guru wisdom. Pranvat. Pran really stands for the word, the sound, because it is associated with the breath of creation. So here it signifies Guru wisdom. So Nanak is telling us, submit to Guru wisdom, and by doing that, you will then recognize divine will playing through creation, hukam pachane, and then you can harmonize yourself. Your days and nights will become harmonized. In other words, you will achieve self-realization. On that note, until the next time, Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.